Hi, so I'm Ali. Come into a comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to have a little shuffle around. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, opening out through the chest. If seated cross-legged works for you, please do it. Otherwise, feel free to come into straddle, sitting on your knees, sitting on a chair, whatever feels comfortable. You just want to close down the eyes and just bring your focus to your breath. Taking a long, slow inhale in. As you do so, opening out through the chest, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Feeling that lovely length that you just created through the spine. Bringing your focus to your alignment. Bringing your head over your heart over your hips. Bring your awareness to how you're seated. You want to be seated in a balanced position so you can feel the weight sinking in the ground through both sit bones. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Bringing your focus to your breath. Long, slow inhale in, ballooning the belly out as you inhale in. Lungs are pushing into the ribs, chest is lifting up, the shoulder blades are just relaxing down the back, and that lovely opening out through the chest. And as you exhale out, the opposite happens. But by doing so, you are still focusing on that lovely length through the spine, so the chest, the lungs, the belly, all shrink back and emptying every last bit of air out of the body. Focus on that lovely rhythm through the breathing, that balance through the inhale and the exhale. So the intention for this class is to slow down, to take the time to really feel grounded, to root through those sit bones, to feel that connection to the earth, to release any energies that are not serving you well into the ground beneath you. Feeling that support around you, slowing down through the breath. Finding that lovely balance through the breath. Slowly unravel the legs, bring the right leg straight out in front of you. I'm going to sit slightly slide on, partly because it just helps with the position we're going to do, but also so you can see this leg's really strong. I'm not letting it relax. I'm activating through the foot and pulling the shoulder blades down the back, opening out through the right hand, opening out through the chest. Take a big inhale, lifting up. As you exhale, you're going to relax towards that foot, letting the head just hang. You have got the option to stay here, or if you want to join me in some gentle movement, we're going to inhale in, opening out through the chest, letting the hand come to the ground and relaxing the body. I'm staying rooted through both sit bones, and as I push through the hand, I'm lifting the body up. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower down, relax into the pose. Slowly inhale. Exhale as you lower the hand down. Inhale in. Exhaling as you lower down into the pose. Inhale in. This time we're going to stay relaxed to the side. So if you stayed in that initial pose, now bring your body here. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back, reaching up and over the head. And we're going to slowly engage through the core and float the body up, coming onto the knee. Hand is directly under the shoulder. You're pushing the little toe into the ground and you're opening out through the chest. And you're reaching over the head to get that lovely arc, that opening down the side ribs, lifting out through the hip, letting the body just relax to the side, slowing down the breath. Option to stay here if you'd like to activate through the pose, engaging, and as you do so you're going to float the back leg up. And now I want you to reach out through the chest, so it's like a supported half moon. You're on the knee. If the knee feels like it's taking too much, you can push through the shin. You can also double up on the mat, opening out through the breath. Again, you've got the option to stay here, or maybe reaching over the head. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you crunch the knee in front of the body, elbow towards the knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale as you crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale as you crunch. This time bringing the hand under the shoulder, walking the knees wide, toes together, sitting the bum back into a wide-legged child's pose. Letting the body go as low as you can. If your head reaches the ground, great. If not, make a little pillow with your hands, maybe with your fists. You want the body to relax into that space. Slowly walking the body in, and then we're going to change legs. Opening out, reaching away. So again, I'm going to sit slightly side onto the camera, but this leg is reaching out straight from me. Relaxing, activating through that foot. Opening out through the fingers. And you get that lovely opening through the arm, opening out through the chest. Take a big inhale, lift up. As you relax down, you're opening through the chest and you're relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Again, you've got the option to stay here. Otherwise, inhale in, lifting the body out. So you've got that lovely opening through the chest, the hand comes down and you're relaxing in and you're reaching up and over, and you can feel that beautiful stretch into the side body. Inhale in. Take your time, slowly exhaling out, opening out through the chest. Inhale in. Bringing your hand down, relaxing into the side body. Inhale in. One more time, inhale in. This time we're going to stay here, relaxed to the side. So if you stayed in that first pose, come and join us, keeping that leg active, releasing the shoulder blades down the back, engaging through the core, bringing your weight onto the knee, coming up into an easy side plank. Start off, really focus on that alignment, reaching up and over and reaching the fingers, keeping the hips up as high as you can, the little toes squeezing into the ground, opening out through the ribs. And then you've got the option to activate through the side of the body, so just lifting the arm up, engaging through the core, raising that back leg up, reaching fingertips to the heel, and then reaching out through the chest. You're like a supported half moon. Imagine you're leaning against the wall behind you. Option to reach up and over the head. Take a big inhale. Reach further away. Crunch the knee towards the elbow. They may or may not touch. Inhale, open out. Slowly crunching the knee in towards the elbow. Inhale as you reach. One more time, crunching in. Lovely. Inhale, reach out. Bringing the knee down to the ground. Have the knees lovely and wide just to release into the hips. Have your toes together. Sinking your bum back. Lowering the body down into that space. Super slow with the breath. Letting the head rest on the ground if that feels okay. Slowing down the breath. Super slowly bringing your body up. Hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. We're going to start with the left leg back. You're going to come onto the toe, you're going to push through the heel. Engage through that core. Float the left leg up. Reaching forward with the right hand, reaching off in opposite directions. So you're going to cactus arm the arm. Didn't really make sense, but you're bringing the elbow out wide and you're just bringing the knee in towards the elbow. So you're crunching your knee in straight and the elbow out wide into cactus. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, slowly crunching in, stopping as soon as your elbows align to your shoulder. Inhale, reach out. Slowly crunching in. Inhale, reach out. One more time. Slowly crunching in. Inhale, reach out. Reach through from the fingertips to the heel. Slowly bringing the body down, sitting back onto your heels, loosening out through the wrists, and we're going to go other leg. Engage through the core. This time stepping the right leg back, pushing away with the heel. Floating the right leg up, reaching the left hand long. keeping the crown of the head away from the tailbone. So crunch the knee straight and you're bringing the elbow out. So reach, knee in, inhale, reach out. Crunch the knee in, elbow reaching to the side, but stop as soon as you're lined into goddess arms. Reach out. Slowly crunching in. Reaching out. Last time, crunching in. Reach out, stretching away through the heel, reaching through the hand, focus on that lovely stability through the pose. Bringing your hands down, sitting back onto your heels, loosening out through the wrists. Just paddle out through the hands. And then we're going to bring the hands under the shoulders, just for a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So when you're ready, inhaling into cow, arcing through the back and pushing into down into cat. And carry on in your own breath count, inhaling in, mobilizing through the spine as much as comfortable for you, and as you exhale out, feel like you're going to burst the ceiling with that upper back. Super slowly with the movement. The next time you come into cat, slowly flatten out through the back and lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Curl the toes under and super slowly pushing back into downward facing dog. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths, so just do whatever feels good for you. You might want to loosen off through the wrist by lifting the hands out. You might want to pedal out through the feet. Maybe just gently swaying the hips. And then just bring the body to centre. If you notice that your body's more over your hands and you've got that rounding in the back, just bend through the knees a little bit and push the chest in towards the knees. That'll help to release that upper back curve and give that longer back. Engaging through the core, floating the right leg up. Crunch the right knee into the chest, step into the front of the mat, lowering the left knee down. Bringing the body up into a low lunge. Just relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Lengthening the crown of the head away from the tailbone. So you've got the option to stay here, which is a high, low lunge, or you can let the hips sink down. Just make sure that feels okay into your lower back. Hinging, bringing the hands to frame that front foot, curling the toes under, stepping back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Lowering down through the knees as you bring the chest down, the elbows travel back. Slide the hands forward, gently scooping the chest up. Exhale and push back into downward facing dog, letting the head just hang. Feel that lovely length through the spine, engage through the core, floating the left leg up. Crunch the left knee into the chest, stepping that foot down, lowering the knee down. Inhale as you lift up, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Again, you might want to stay here, or letting the body just sink that little bit lower. Slowing down through the breath. Hinging the body down, bringing the hands down to frame the front foot, curling the toes under, raise the knees, engage the core, step to the front of the mat, straighten through the legs. Inhale, lift the body halfway. Exhale fully all the way down. Inhale, unraveling the spine. Pushing through the feet, lifting and opening out through the chest. Bring the hands to rest in front of your heart. Rolling the shoulder blades back, take a big inhale, reach up. Hinging from the hips, sticking your bum out to sit back into chair pose. Bringing the hands onto the hips. Hinging the chest down to the thighs. Take your time, lowering the body down. Bringing your hands down onto the mat. Leaning your weight into your hands, and from here jumping or stepping back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Take your time lowering the body down. See if you can hover into chaturanga or half chaturanga where you're using the knees. Slowly inhaling into up downward cobra, tune into your back. Exhale and push back into downward facing dog. Engaging through the core, floating the right leg up. Crunch the right knee into the chest, stepping to the front of the mat, pushing through the feet, bring the body up into a high lunge. Slowing down the breath. Inhale in, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale out, transition into warrior two. So the back foot's parallel to the back of the mat. The front foot hasn't changed, it's still bending the knee over the ankle and the toes are pointing forwards. Rolling the shoulder blades down the back, take a big inhale in. Letting the front arm rest on the front thigh, reaching up and over the head. Having that lovely opening down the side ribs. Activating through your hands. Slowing down. Bringing your back hand to your hip, engaging through the core, and we're going to transition into half moon. Tune into your body, raising the back leg up, activating through that back foot, pushing away with the heel. Sofa's a bit close, hey? Engaging through the core, opening out through the chest, activating through the heel. Remember, if you wobble out, then just join back in. Slowly lowering the back foot down to set up for triangle. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back, activating through the arms, taking a big inhale in. Reaching forwards and opening out into triangle, reaching across that chest. Feel that lovely opening. Slowing down the breath. Engaging through the core, bringing that awareness into the pelvic floor. Cartwheeling the hands down to the front of the mat, stepping into plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, keeping that core lovely and strong. Lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale into up downward cobra. You might want to have a bit of a hybrid where you're sort of opening out through the chest, but you still have the knees on the ground. Pushing back into downward facing dog, letting the head just hang. Engage through the core, floating the left leg up. Crunch the left knee into the chest, gently placing that left foot down, pushing through your feet, lifting the body high, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. As you exhale out, transitioning into warrior two. Opening out through the hips, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back, knees over the ankle. Slowing down the breath. Hands are alive, fingertips are outstretched. Letting the front arm rest, reaching up and over, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back, activating through your hands. Bringing your hand onto your back hip, engaging through the core, reaching for the ground, raising the back leg up, activating through the chest, pushing away with that heel. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. If you wobble out of the pose, or if it just feels that the floor is too far away, take your time raising that back foot up, but focus on keeping that chest open. You might even want to have the arms out, and then you practice hinging the body down. Having your hand onto the hip reduces the lever, so it actually makes it more of a stable pose. So you might find this is easier than when you start to open up, slowing down through the breath. Engaging through the core, keep pushing away with that back leg and take your time to transition into triangle. In triangle, the front toes face forward, the back foot's perpendicular to the front. Open out through the chest, take a long, slow inhale in. Reaching forwards, opening out through that chest. Reaching across the chest. Slowing down with the breath. hands to the front of the mat and stepping back to plank. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Pushing back into downward facing dog. Letting the head just hang. Engaging through the core, floating the right leg up. Crunch the right knee into the chest. Placing that foot down gently. Pushing through the feet, coming up into a high lunge. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Bringing your hands to rest in front of your heart. Pushing your weight evenly through both feet. Bring your awareness to your core, lifting up from the pelvic floor. Take your time. Hinging the body forward, pushing away with that back foot. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Option to reach the hands forwards. Or keep them in front of your heart. Or maybe releasing your fingertips back. Engaging through the core. Super slowly lowering that back leg down to set up for the pyramid. So I'll just turn and face. So when you're in pyramid, the feet are wide on the mat. The hips are squared off to the front of the mat. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Hinge from the hips. So you're not rounding into that back at all. You're working that chin down towards the shin. You've got that lovely flat back. And then when you need to round the back, you've got that option to round down into the pose. Letting the head just hang. Hands can come onto the leg or onto the floor, slowing down the breath depending what's available. That head just hangs. Square off the hips. You want to ease back that right hip and ease forward the left hip. What you'll get is just that slightly deeper stretch. Slowing down that breath. Bending into the knee, placing the hand down to the front of the mat, stepping back to plank, lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, lowering down with or without the knees. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Pushing back into downward facing dog, letting the head just hang. Engaging through the core, floating the left leg up. Crunch the left knee to the chest, gently place the foot down. Push through the feet, bringing the body up into a high lunge. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone, relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Bringing the hands to rest in front of your heart. Push evenly through both feet, engaging through the core and take your time, raising that back leg up. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. If you find that you wobble out of the pose or it just feels too much, then raise and lower the leg, and each time you raise the leg, hold the leg up for a little bit longer. Remember, you've got the option with the hands to reach forwards, hands in front of the heart, or to reach back. Slowing down the breath. Feel that lovely support through your leg. Engaging through the core, lowering the foot down. So again, we're going to come into pyramid. Feet are wide on the mat. Hips are facing the front, lengthen the crown of the head away, lengthen through the crown, hinging from the hips. So try not to round into the back until you need to, so you're really mobilizing through the range of movement through the hips. Letting the head just hang. Hands can come onto the leg, possibly onto the floor. Slowing down the breath. Feel that lovely stretch. So again, just square the hips off, easing back that left hip. And then forward that right hip. Slowing down the breath. It's a nice place to close the eyes if you feel stable enough. You can always blink them open if you need to. Keep that focus on your breath. And embrace all those tiny movements your body's making. Bending into your knees, stepping back to downward dog. And just take a couple of breaths here, pedaling out through the feet, maybe swaying through the hips, or just enjoying the stillness. Bending the knees, hugging the knees to the chest, looking to the front of the mat, jumping or stepping to the front of the mat. Straighten out through the legs, letting the head just hang. Inhale, lift the body halfway. Exhale fully all the way down. Bend the knees and let the body rest onto the thighs, slowly hinging up into chair. Sinking the body down. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Straighten out through the legs, bringing your hands to rest in front of your heart. Fabulous. So we're just going to run through some Moon Salutations, which are really lovely for helping to down-regulate the body. If you've never done them before, please feel free to watch, and then you can either rewind or you can do them another time. So just whatever works. Relax the shoulder blades down the back. Clasp your hands in front of your body. Feel that lovely balance through both feet. Lengthen the crown of the head away. Take a big inhale as you come up onto your toes, lifting your arms up over your heads. As you exhale out, lowering the heels down. And let's go again. Inhale in, lifting your arms up over. As you exhale out, lowering the heels down. Stepping out wide and sitting down into Goddess. So the knees are pushing out over towards your little toes. Your elbows are wide and your fingers are outstretched. Straighten through the legs, and we're going to transition to triangle. This is now your back foot, so it's parallel to the back mat. That's now your front foot's facing forwards. Hinging from the hips, opening out into triangle. Reaching across the chest. Stepping the foot out wide, bringing the body into pyramid. Lengthen through the spine, hinging. Feel that lovely length, the mobilization through the hips, bringing your hands onto your legs, letting the head go, possibly reaching for the floor, but make sure you're squaring out the hips. And push evenly through both feet. Lowering down onto your back knee and gently bringing the body up into a low lunge. Feel that lovely opening through the hip. Bringing the hands down to the inside edge of that front foot. So now you have two options. Option one, which is more challenging, is coming into a side squat. Ideally you want this heel on the ground, but if likely you're tight through the hips and that heel is on the ground, that is absolutely fine. If this feels too much, then your other option is to be on your front knee and coming up into a side gate. Choose your option. And then slowly transition to the other side. So option one, which was option two last time, is a side gate. Foot flat on the ground. And the other option is side squat. Wherever you are, you're lengthening the crown of the head away from the tailbone. If you're in the side squat, you've got the heel on the ground and you're working the foot up. Slowly transition round. Bring the body into a low lunge. Hinging the body over as you do so. Curl the toes under. Straighten through both legs to set up for pyramid. Slowing down the breath. Squaring off the hips. Slowly bringing the body up to set up for triangle. Pulling the shoulder blades down the back. Lengthen the crown of the head away. Hinging forwards. Opening out through the chest. Bringing the body back up through Goddess. Elbows are wide, shoulder height. Knees are bent, working out towards the little toes. Body stays center. Straighten the legs, stepping back to where you started, rolling the shoulder blades down the back, pushing evenly through your feet, lifting the body tall. Exhale out, lowering the arms down. One more time, inhale, lift up. Slowly lowering down. And then we're going to go to the other side of the mat. I'm just going to quickly adjust the height. We're going to go to the other side of the mat and we're going to do the same thing. Rolling the shoulder blades back in the opposite direction. Clasp your hands in front of your body, but change the clasp. So bring the opposite thumb on top, reaching the hands down, opening out through the chest, bringing that lovely balance through your feet. Take a big inhale, lifting up onto the toes, reaching your hands up over your head. As you exhale out, lowering the arms down. Beautiful. We're going to do the same thing again. Inhale in. Exhale out, take your time, lowering the arms, lowering the body down. Stepping out into Goddess, bending into the knees. So just a reminder, when we're in Goddess, the body stays centre. So it's like a sumo squat. It's not a traditional squat with the bum sitting back. It's kind of, don't ride a horse, but I imagine that if you rode a horse, I might be completely wrong, answers on a postcard, I can imagine this is how you sit on a horse. Obviously not with the legs. Well, maybe with the legs if it's quite a bite, I don't know. Anyway, I'll stop whittling on. You lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Straighten through. Back foot, front foot. Opening out through the chest. Inhale in. Hinging from the hips, opening out. Imagine you're leaning back. So the goal isn't to reach the foot. If I wanted to reach the foot, I could easily, but you can see that my body closes down. It's about that lovely opening out and that opening through the side of the body. We're going to change into pyramid, so adjust the feet. Feet are wide on the mat. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale. Hinging from the hips. Bringing the arms down onto the ground, letting the head just hang. Slowing down through the breath. Lowering down onto the back knee, stepping forward into a low lunge. Relaxing the shoulder blades down the back. Relaxing your hands down into that inside space. Now you've got two options. I'm just going to go with the side squat. But remember, you've got the other option of being on that knee. If you're on the side squat, your heel's on the ground and your foot's working up. You're lengthening the crown of the head away. If you're on the knee, you've got your foot flat on the ground. Engage through the core. You may or may not need the floor. If you don't need the floor, then lift the body up. Not quite there. So I'm going to use my hands and move across to the other side of the mat. Slowing down through the breath. Lengthen the crown of the head away. So remember, you've got the option to be on this knee and pushing the toes into the ground. But if you're on side squat, the heel's on, toes are lifting up. Slowing down the breath. Bringing the hands down, turning the body round. Inhale in, lifting up, relaxing the shoulder blades back. Into a low lunge. Hinge the body down, curl the back toes under, straighten both legs. You might need to step the foot in, you might want to shuffle the foot a bit wider, letting the head just hang. Slowing down the breath. Slowly bringing the body up to set up for triangle. The front toes stay facing forward, the back foot runs perpendicular, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. Hinging from the hips, opening out through triangle. Again, really focusing on that lovely opening across the chest. Sitting down into Goddess, opening out through the chest. Elbows are wide, fingers are outstretched, knees are pushing out towards the little toes. So you got that lovely opening on the hips. Stepping back to where we started. Make sure you change the cross of your hands, pulling the hands down, pushing through the feet, relaxing the shoulder blades back. Super slow, inhale in, lifting up. Keep the heels raised as you lower down, take your time, lowering through the feet, Take your time, lowering through the arms, keeping the core strong. Inhale as you lift up. Lovely and slowly. Exhale as you lower down, super slow again, lovely. Fabulous. So, Moon Salutations is really nice to help down regulate, to slow everything down, and really useful before bedtime. So we're just going to start to pull down. Grab a quick drink if you'd like one, and then have your socks, have your fleece, have anything you want to make yourself nice and toasty handy. I'm just going to slightly change the camera angle. And we're going to start off in a seated position. Grab socks if you want them. And we're just going to start in a seated figure 4. If you're really, really tight in the hips and you'd rather be reclined, please feel free. So we're going to keep the right leg straight. We're going to bring the left foot over and let the knee relax out to the side. We're going to bend through that knee. Ooh, and I can really feel that. But as I say, if this just is awful or you feel it, shouldn't be awful. If it's not very pleasant, then feel free to lie down on your back and do the same stretch, which is reclined figure 4. It just can sometimes feel better for your body. When you're in this position, you're focusing on keeping the crown of the head away from the tailbone, and you're breathing into that hip, slowing down the breath. Hopefully if it's super tight, it should start off releasing. Mine hasn't really started releasing, but yeah. Oh, it has now. Slowing down the breath. And then very gently coming out of the pose. And we're going to keep that right leg straight. I'm just going to turn side on to you because I want you to turn your body side on to your knees, and we're folding down into the space rather than here. So lengthen, hinging from the hips, folding down into that lovely space. Focus on keeping the back long, and you've got the option to stay here long in the back or maybe round into the back, letting the body relax down into that space. Focus on keeping the shoulder blades relaxed down the back. Slowing down the breath. It's a lovely place just to close the eyes down. Try and stay focused on sitting balanced between both sit bones and just letting as much of the body come into contact with the ground as possible. Super slowly bringing the body up and out. And then we're just going to change legs. Starting off in figure 4, either seated, staying upright, or lying the body down, bending through that knee. I'd like to say this leg feels better, but really, I don't know, yeah, quite tight to say the least. Slowing down the breath. Make sure, even though it is a deep stretch, it feels comfortable. You can release that foot a little bit if you want to take the pressure off. And just bring your focus to your breath. It's a nice place just to close down the eyes. Focus on that long, slow inhale in. And balancing out that exhale. Hopefully it's releasing. Slowing down the breath. Remember, if you prefer, please go in for reclined figure 4. Super slowly coming out of the pose, and we're just going to set up. Again, I'm just going to sit slightly side on just so you can see that I'm folding down between the knees. Rolling the shoulder blades back, lengthen through the spine. hinging from the hips, mobilising through the hips as much as possible, letting your hands relax down. Focus on that lovely length through the spine. You might want to stay here or you might want to round into the back, keeping both sit bones rooted into the ground. Slowing down the breath. Maybe the chin comes to the chest. Really slowly walking the body in, bringing your hand to your forehead just to lift the shoulders and the head up last. And then just bending both knees and hugging your legs into the chest. Bringing them in as close as you can. You might want to stay here with the crown of the head reaching away, or if it feels okay, maybe rounding into the upper back, letting the head rest forward, your nose down toward your knees. Slowing down the breath wherever you are. Keeping your legs as close to your body as you can. And then very, very slowly start to unravel the body and gently making your way down onto your mat to set up for Shavasana. When you get there, have a little shuffle around. Get whatever layers you need to make yourself feel comfortable. Maybe dim the lights. Letting the body just settle into the ground. Take a moment to lie in a balanced way. So you're wanting the crown of the head to be reaching away from the tailbone. You want to try and keep the chest as open as possible. Remember, you've always got the option to keep the knees bent or to have the legs straight. And then just let the body settle into the ground. If you haven't already done so, just close your eyes and relax your face. Feel the body soften. Notice as you slow down the breath, the body just feels heavy and relaxed. Feeling that lovely connection between your body and the ground. Letting go of any tension or stress that you're carrying. And if as you're lying here your mind starts to wander, just acknowledge whatever's distracting you and then just let it float on by, watching it as it disappears off to the distance. And just bringing your focus back to your body relaxed. And then finally let the breathing just go completely natural. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as suits you and your body. If you want to bring yourself back, then start to deepen your breath and start to waken up your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, loosen off your ankles and wrists. And then take a full body stretch, reaching your arms up over your head. Stretching out through the legs, reaching your toes down towards the ground. Feel that beautiful stretch across the core. As you inhale in, and as you exhale out, start to soften the arms, gently bringing the arms back down by your side and start to bend through the knees, hugging the knees into your chest. And then just do whatever feels good for your back. Maybe scissoring through the knees, bringing one knee in, pushing the other away. Maybe just gently rocking from side to side. Maybe just that lovely movement of hugging the knees close to the body. And then super slowly rolling onto your side, and just stay here for a moment. And then very slowly and gently bringing the body upright, bringing the head up last, maybe using the hand to guide the head up. Take your time coming into a comfortable seat position, either with the palms open on the legs or the palms resting in front of heart center. Namaste just means I bow to you. It means I respect the place in you that's the same as the place in me. Big breath in. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. Please let me know what you liked about the class, any of the things that you'd enjoy to do in our practice, and